Hey, yo, what's the deal? It's your boy Tag from Pro Wrestling Tag. You know what I mean? As of this recording right now, it is 11:25 p.m., July 31st, 2025. But the upload time of this is actually August 1st, 3:30 p.m., 2025. And the reason why I'm doing this now, as we speak, is because I figure, okay, you know what? Let me put a video out for some stuff that I want to talk about that I didn't really get a chance to talk about yesterday that I'm talking about today. If what I'm saying makes sense. You know what I mean? And I want to do this, not really quick, but I want to take my time with it because my program is coming on. You know what I mean? Like every time I see Bob Ross, right, on CBS, PBS Create, you know what I mean? Like I shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? Because I'm an art guy and I love, I've always been a fan of Bob Ross, always, from the time I was young. Even now, the man is amazing. Him, Bill Alexander, what's her name? Diane Andre. I mean, the three best. So I want to talk about this because this actually kind of flown under the radar yesterday. As I was talking about Cody Rhodes and everything else, So Dave Meltzer has been saying some things, about WWE that was, to me, was beyond fucking laughable. And when I hear, whenever I hear Meltzer speak and such, I always think that, especially about WWE, I always say to myself, damn, this dude really loves to attack WWE for whatever reason. I don't know why. I mean, I really do not know why and shit. And, excuse me, he said a couple of things about not only WWE UnReal, but also about Alberto Del Rio. First, let me get to the UnReal part, because the stuff he said about UnReal is just fucking laughable. Dave Meltzer stated that, he watched WWE UnReal, right? And he's making these claims that, WWE UnReal is basically a vehicle to make Triple H look like, Dana White, like, the head of the operations and shit, right? He said, what this show basically did was it made Triple H look like he's the Dana White of WWE. Who run the operations and shit, right? And I'm like, man, this dude Meltzer is just, I don't know, bro. Like, how the fuck does anyone take this nigga seriously, yo? How the fuck do anyone take Dave Meltzer seriously? I don't know how anyone does, man. I don't. Dave Meltzer is a guy who basically, he just says all this bullshit because, he's friends with Tony Khan, and he's doing everything in his power to make AEW the face. But it's not the face. It's the fucking heel. You know what I'm saying? And I seen the shows. You know what I'm saying? Because he was talking about, what WWE wants to do is they want to separate the characters from the real life people. That's the fucking business, nigga. That's the business, Dave. You know what I'm saying? Like, this nigga Dave is just, he's wilding, yo. Like, Dave Melson's just, there's a guy who basically just, he wants to, talk all his bullshit because, he has an agenda. Dave Meltzer has a fucking agenda against WWE. You know what I'm saying? And this is why Meltzer gets the shit that he gets. You know what I mean? Because anytime Meltzer talks about WWE and praise AEW, you know where he goes with all this. You know where he's going. You know what I mean? And I'm like, shut the fuck up, Dave. Just like this next story that I'm going to talk about, right? Where he's claiming that many backstage in WWE, many of the roster, they want Alberto Del Rio back in the company. You know what I mean? Like they want this guy back in the company. They're like, oh, he's saying that because he's a top player in Mexico, they think it would be wise if they keep him around. No, they're not keeping Alberto Del Rio around. No, they're not going to do that. You know why they're not going to do that? Because of the shit that he's done in the past. You know what I'm saying? Hold on real quick. Yeah, sorry about that. Someone called me. But again, you know what I'm saying? Like, the fact that Meltzer because, Alberto Del Rio is a top guy in Mexico. And, I think it would be wise if they keep him around. No. I mean, the dude burnt bridges. The dude, look, if WWE even thinks about signing Alberto Del Rio to a deal, you know the backlash that they would fucking get, especially like if they I'm not sure if WWE are on good terms with Saraya. I'm not sure, but you would assume that if they're trying to be on good terms with her, signing this motherfucker would not be a wise move. You know what I mean? And again, this is from Meltzer. You know what I mean? This is clearly a Meltzer thing. You know what I'm saying? And Alberto Del Rio, like, you bring him back, like I said, you bring this motherfucker back in WWE, that is going to be a big fucking problem. A major problem. You know what I mean? Like, he already burnt bridges. You know what I'm saying? He already burnt bridges with with the company anyway. You know what I mean? So why the fuck would you want to bring someone as toxic as Alberto Del Rio back into the company? That makes no fucking sense. Especially if you're trying to start fresh and such. Let him go to AEW. Let that motherfucker go to All Elite Wrestling. You know what I mean? If he wants to go there and and continue to wrestle, be my motherfucking guest. But WWE would be legitimately wise to stay far the fuck away from Alberto Del Rio. And they are. So I don't believe that story one fucking bit at all from Meltzer about WWE many stars wanting Alberto Del Rio back. I think that's bullshit. I don't think that's bullshit. I know that's bullshit. You know what I mean? Because, that is poison. That is legitimately fucking poison. Seriously. You know what I mean? Seriously. I'm about to be out, guys. You know what I mean? I will be making another video later today. You know what I mean? So I definitely will holler at y'all. All right? Peace.